Oh, chat. What's going on? Even Porter successes the pyramid, that's disappointing. Alright, Azir. 3 mana! Guys, who would have guessed? 3 mana Azir. 1/5. Alright, a bit weaker than Soraka. When allies attack, summon an attacking Sand Soldier. You have summoned 10 units. That's extremely easy level up. Guys, we had access for an hour to the decks. Like, we didn't get to test shit. We just had a nice glimpse of stuff. Like, I can't tell you if anything was good or... Like, I didn't even play any deck. I was just looking at the cards. So, 3 mana, 1/5. Summon an attacking Sand Soldier. Like, you're not gonna be attacking too often with Azir, let's be honest. Like, he's just gonna be sitting on the bench until he flips. Unless you have managed to clear board. You don't want to use the combat tricks offensively with Azir. Yeah, it's sort of MFL like. When allies attack, summon an attacking... when an attacking Sand Soldier, when you summon an ally, give us buff 1/0 this round. Yep, like slightly better, right? But flipped Azir. Replace your deck with Emperor's deck, then drew 1. When allies attack, summon Sandstone Charger. I mean, once you flip Azir, unless opponent has some sort of burn, you just win. Azir's Arise. Summon Sand Soldier, create a fleeting Arise in your hand, create Azir in your deck. Yeah, this is like... this is not the greatest card, I'm not gonna lie. His champion card? Bad. Extremely bad. It's a burst blocker. Oh, it's shut. It's not good. It's a late game card. Late game, this card won't matter at all. And early game, it's almost unplayable. No, it's not good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's better than Katarina's spell, right? But overall, it's not a good card. Late game, you won't have board space to play this. Early game, you don't have mana to play this. Mid game, you don't want to spend mana on a Sand Soldier. Swim said it was good, so everyone is claiming that it's amazing. Cool. You mean 3 1/1s? Turn 6 is good? You commit entire turn, your mana, to summon 3 units that have 1/1 and deal to the opponent's next +1. You're saying this is good? Also, you want to pay 9 mana to deal 3 damage. Huh. Potentially, okay. Let's say they all connect. 9 mana to deal 6 damage. Okay. If no one blocks. If the deck has healing, it won't even care. So you spend 9 mana to do nothing. Okay. I want to see people main deck this, so I can just farm those people. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, this is an okay champion spell. Sometimes when you need blockers and you have like only Azir on board, but I'm not gonna fucking main deck this. Okay, and don't get me wrong, I might be wrong. I was wrong about Temple in the past, but usually I'm not wrong. No, Grappler, I said Temple was max 2 off. That's why I said that I was wrong. I thought that you cannot afford to run 3 Temple. And it turned out you need to run at least 3 Temple. That's all I was wrong about. Emperor's Divide. 7 mana slow. Give enemies vulnerable this round and summon 6 Sand Soldiers. I mean... yeah. No. Okay, and this is the card, like... I couldn't be talking about this card, and this is absolutely fucking... like, this kills my fucking Karma decks. Like, this is absolutely disgusting card. Like, I don't know, man. I kept biting myself into the tongue to not spoil this. And the best part is, you like, as a Baron deck, you cannot try to kill opponent when they have 4 mana with the stacks on stack spells. So if opponent has some sort of slow healing, you can get punished by that. Also, I have seen only like half of the cards. I didn't like, as I said, we didn't have too much time to pick to like some people played, some people checked out. I was checking out the cards, and like I didn't see even Lissandra. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see Lissandra at when we had the access. So like when I've seen the Lissandra cards, I was genuinely surprised. I didn't see LeBlanc. Like I was mostly checking out Shurima the cards, and I was thinking about those. Like I've seen all the Shurima cards, but I didn't see like the others. I mean, this is absolutely disgusting card. This takes this makes Ionia way weaker. This is basically Ionia. Like imagine when mom is asking, when the kid is asking you to get some Ionia for you, and you are thinking, no, hold on, no, I got it wrong. Kid wants some Shurima, and mom says, we got Ionia at home. Don't worry, we got Shurima at home, and in home we have Ionia waiting. That's basically it. All right, Crumbling Sands, obliterate enemy follower, draw 1. This is a very cool tech card. This is a very cool card. S1, 2 off, potentially. Emperor's Guard. Oh wait, that's a... Never mind. That's Emperor card. Oh, so those are Emperor cards already. Okay. Alright. Yeah, 2 mana, 5/4, Fury Sum when I'm summoned, draw 1. Eternal Gladiator, 7 mana, 10/7 when I'm summoned, draw 1, run and the strongest enemy and I strike each other. Yeah, very good. General's Palace. Landmark. Enemies are vulnerable. Run, start, rally. Oh wow. I haven't seen this one. Oh wow. Holy shit. This is Emperor card? Landmark is the Emperor card? I haven't seen those guys. I have seen like, I only have seen this. And I think I've seen something else from Emperor, but nothing else. We could, like, there was no way to view the Emperor cards. You had to play, you had to basically get them and play them. Yeah, that's a good late game card. 5 mana, 6/6, Golden Herald. Play and run, start, summon 2, send soldiers and grant them +2/+2. Oh wow. Ascended Call, 10 mana, summon Renekton and Nasus, immediately level them up to 3. Okay, dude. That's a game over, like, yeah. Like, Azir Flip is such a fucking game-ending tool. And Rally? Oh, and Rally? What the fuck? Holy shit! That's a lot of value. Imagine FTR gave you Rally. That would be a pretty good card. Sandstorm, 9 mana, obliterate 3 enemy units or landmarks. Oh wow, that's a good removal. Damn. Gimme. Shimmering Mirage, but you know what are those cards weak to? All of these cards are weak to Karma. When Azir flips, deck seems very weak to Karma. Like, but you need to have a like very valuable Karma deck. Like, I will, like, Homecomings, denies, but yes, seems like Shimmering Mirage, Burst, summon an exact copy for an ally, it's ephemeral, draw 1. Oh kurwa. Oh wow. Emperor's Prosperity, Burst, draw 2, 2 mana. Oh kurwa. Holy shit. That's a lot of value. Wait, what was Sandstone Charger? It was the 5/2, yeah? Yeah, Sandstone Charger was the 5/2 ephemeral. What deck I'm gonna play? I'm gonna play Lissandra. As you level up is counter to Watcher at least. It isn't. Okay, so imagine Watcher obliterates your deck, and what do you, like, how do you replace 0 cards? What do you replace 0 cards with? Like, Azir means that it takes all your cards in your deck and it replaces them with new ones. If your deck has 0 cards, it won't have anything to replace with. Mono Shurima super bad versus aggro. Dude, did you see Spiritfire card? When I level up, replace your deck with Emperor's deck. Wait, it means you're gonna get exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Does it mean you get exactly 11 cards in your deck when you level up Azir? I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll have to playtest.
Azir is a brilliant story about this little place in the Runeterra world called Shurima. And you may have heard of this place before. Now, in the old days of League of Legends, Shurima was quite literally a ruined region of the world, very heavily based on ancient Egypt, you know? And Shurima was not an alive place in the old times of League of Legends. We mostly knew about it through Nazis's classic voice lines where he says things like, Shurima is not of this time. Or Renekton going, because he's angry all the time, right? But as far as we knew, Shurima was never coming back. It was this ancient place, this mysterious old place that we didn't know much about. And the release of Azir back in 2014 marked a really monumental time in League of Legends where they actually, brought back Shurima. And it was this crazy, amazing, probably the most pivotal event in all of League of Legends story, probably up until, like, Viego makes his appearance as, you know, oh, the Ruined King is finally here, right? Because we've known so much about that region for so long, or we've been learning about that region for so long that we've just been waiting for this dude to show up. But Azir himself, probably up until that point, marked the most important reveal, the important champion to be released in terms of the lore. Now, Azir himself comes from a family of a family line of emperors, of course. His father was the emperor, but Azir was actually he was the youngest son of the family, right? So he had no claim to the throne. And during this time in Shurima's history, you know, centuries ago, mind you, centuries ago, while the civilization was booming and they were conquering many regions of the lower continent of Runeterra, the civilization of Shurima was mostly built on slaves and slavery. They extorted these people and used them to do their bidding. Many of their soldiers were made up of slaves and workers, everything. It was very much a slave-run society. Of course, there were slaves who looked after the family of the emperors, right? You know, as you can imagine, you know, there were like housemaidens and like gardeners and things like that, or whatever, right? You know, there are all these people. And one such caretaker to the family of the emperors was a kid named Xerath, right? And Xerath was born a slave and he lived a slave, but he befriended the youngest born son of the emperor, Azir. And they played together, they hung out together, and they were such good friends. And Azir grew to have such a strong distaste for slavery, so much to the point through Xerath's experiences as a slave and their friendship that he promised his friend that if he was ever to become the emperor, which he wouldn't, there was no way, he's got all of these brothers ahead of him, primed and ready for the throne way before he gets a chance. But he said to him, if I was ever to be emperor, I would free you. I would end slavery in Shurima. I will do it. Now, Xerath, of course, hearing this and believing truly that his friend means weller than anything else, decided that he would help him become the emperor. So, now, unbeknownst to Azir, his brothers were falling ill and dying, and it was all because Xerath was learning the ways of arcane magic, and he was studying up, he was becoming very, very proficient in it, and one by one, Xerath killed all of Azir's brothers without anyone finding out that it was him doing it. As far as they knew, they all died of malady, right? And Azir's father, in grief, grew to hate Azir because he loved his brothers so much, more so than Azir. And so, what ends up happening is he impregnates the Empress to put another baby in her that would eventually become the Emperor after him. Now, what happened is that Xerath's fuck, I think I got the story like totally wrong. So Azir's mother falls terribly ill with every single child, and actually all of them die. Many of them die, and it's all Xerath's work. He is killing Azir's potential siblings, and then, thankfully, depending on which way you look at it, a child is born. But this child and the mother of this child died in a terrible, horrible, arcane storm that was summoned over Shurima and totally killed Azir's mother and his born baby brother. And in grief, the Emperor is just distraught, right? He's so distraught. The fucking poor guy fucking dies, and Azir is next to, and Azir is now in line to be the Emperor. And what ends up happening is that Azir doesn't exactly keep his promise to end slavery in Shurima. In fact, he extorts it more than anyone ever before him, and he pushes really, really hard. He listens to all of his advisors. He works really closely with a lot of people, becomes the greatest emperor Shurima has ever had, the best, the brightest, and he conquers the fuck out of that entire continent, just about. Just about every region short of Ixtal was completely under Shuriman control, thanks to Azir. And he did this for many, 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 many years. And Xerath, understandably, Xerath is getting a little fucking pissed, right? Because, hey man, you said you was gonna free the slaves. And he tries to talk to him, he's like, dude, you said you was gonna free the slaves. I'm a slave. Stop extorting me, dude. You said you was gonna free me. But Azir wouldn't do it. And Xerath became jaded, completely upset, distraught, beside himself. He's not going to free me. So he comes up with a plan, right? And he starts researching ascension. He's really curious about this. He's already a really powerful mage at this point, but he wants to know about ascension. Now, ascension is this ritual in Shurima, not too unlike characters like Diana and Leona, who become aspects of outworldly beings, and they harness a certain power that they get from the stars and from the mountain. One being of the sun, one being of the moon. The sun has the power to grant wild and crazy powers to you. And a similar process that can happen in Targon in this way also happens in Shurima, thanks to this big thing called the Sun Disk, which can harness the sun's power and bestow it upon someone who is worthy. This is what happened to Nasus and Renekton. Nasus was an amazing war tactician, and his brother Renekton was an amazing soldier. He was the most revered, brilliant soldier in the entire Shuriman military, short of the Ascended God Warriors that were already running around. Now, because they were so great, Nasus fell really ill, and he was going to die. So the Council of the Ascension got together, and they discussed for a long time, and they decided that yes, we believe that Nasus is worthy for ascension. And so the ritual begins in front of crowds of thousands of Shurimans. Nasus is to walk the steps up to the sun disk, which is hovering in the sky, and it rotates 90 degrees so the whole disc is facing down and shoots a beam of light at the top of the stairs. And Nasus is to walk into this beam of light and become ascended. But he's too ill. His body is giving up on him, and he can't do it. He can't reach the top of the steps. Now, Renekton, of course, is a bit of a fucking savage when he's out there, but he felt such love and compassion for his brother, and he knew that his brother was such a kind and valuable soul, the only thing this man really loves. Renekton picked up Nasus, his brother, and carried him to the top of the steps. Nasus begged him, "Don't do this, man. The disc is gonna kill you. I'll ascend, but we don't know if you're worthy. You're gonna die, dude." And Renekton says, "Hey, don't worry about it." And he carries him all the way to the top of those steps, and they both get hit by that ray of light. Big flash of light. And then standing at the top of the steps is now Nasus, who's taken on the form of like the Egyptian jackal, and Renekton, who's taken on whatever the fucking crocodile was in Egypt. Sobek, yeah, that's the one. He takes on a form not too dissimilar to Sobek. They become ascended god warriors. They gain insane power, and they get to live an extraordinary long life. So, this is something that Xerath studied up on. Now, that's a very abridged version of the story of Nasus and Renekton, but Xerath studied up on this, and he was especially interested in how Renekton was able to ascend, even though he wasn't deemed worthy by the council of who gets to ascend or not, right? And so, Xerath concocts a plan. Azir is really arrogant. I don't know if you've listened to this dude's voice lines. He's very confident. He's very arrogant. Yeah, he's the best emperor there's ever been, but, you know, he likes to toot his own horn a little bit, you know. Xerath convinces Azir that he is worthy of the ascension, and he could be the emperor that lives forever and governs Shurima, is the emperor of Shurima for many years to come. And Azir says, "I'll do it." So, hundreds of thousands of Shurimans are standing there waiting to see their emperor ascend into one of the fabled god warriors. And he climbs the steps, and when he gets to the top, just before the ascension ritual begins, the disc is rotating, getting ready. Azir looks out to his people. He thanks them for their service, and he says, "This is a glorious day. This is a great day, one of the best days there's ever been. Take off the chains." And all the fucking chains and shit are removed from all the slaves in Shurima. Every slave in Shurima is now free. And Xerath is sitting there looking at what's happening. An empire built on slaves. And on the day of this motherfucker's ascension, on the day I'm about to, show my brilliant plan, this motherfucker who betrayed me finally kept up his end of the bargain. And the ray of light shot down. And Xerath said, "Too little too late, buddy, old pal." Xerath pushes Azir out of the way, steals the power of ascension himself. But not only does he ascend, Xerath steals all the power of the sun disk. He drains that motherfucker dry, sucks it all in, and becomes a being of pure arcane energy, the strongest, most powerful ascended god warrior in Shuriman history. This guy's getting powers that rival the fucking Targonian version of Ascended, where these dudes directly get power from gods who choose them. Xerath has gained powers rivaling those dudes. Like the Shurimans only get like some sun power that juices them up and makes them a little bit animalistic. This guy, way out of their league. He's one of the top 5 strongest dudes in the verse. He's fucking insane. That's Xerath. And he obliterates Azir, turns him into dust, and he brings hell down upon the city of Shurima, burns the motherfucker to the ground. It's all buried in sand. Now, Nasus and Renekton were far away. Far, far away. And they're like, oh boy, we better get back. Because they were convinced not to be there. Right? Because Xerath knew that these guys couldn't be there. Nasus and Renekton show back up and they get into a tussle. They start wrestling him. They try to seal Xerath inside of a sarcophagus, this being of pure arcane energy. But he breaks out of the sarcophagus. But like the pieces are still stuck to Xerath. That's why if you see Xerath in game, he's got these pieces of the sarcophagus still attached to his body, and that's more or less what we see. But the being itself is just that electrical sparky shit that's going on the inside. And these two guys, Nasus and Renekton, they're really tough. They can't beat this guy. He's too damn strong, right? He's too damn strong. They can't do it. They cannot do it. Renekton sees this. Renekton thinks about his life. And he says this is the only way. He makes the ultimate sacrifice for the second time in his immortal life. And does the most selfless act. He wrestles Azir into the tomb of the emperors. And he says to Nasus, seal the door. Seal the door. And Nasus, tears in his eyes, knowing there's no other way, he seals the door, dooming his brother and Xerath to an eternity of darkness. Cut forward a few centuries, and there is a video of this that you can watch on YouTube to get an idea. It's on the official League of Legends channel of what happens next. But basically, in the video, Nasus is narrating a story of Cassiopeia, who is a noblewoman of Noxus, and she hears about the tomb of the emperors, and she hears about, some stuff going on in ancient Shurima, and she decides she wants to take a look. So she meets with a lady in Shurima called Siva, right? Everyone knows Siva. She's got a card coming out, right? But who is she? Well, we don't really know. She's just some mercenary with a very special boomerang that she fights with. This 4-edged fucking boomerang thing. And she's a mercenary. She's in it for the money, yeah? Yeah, real tropey kind of shit. Cassiopeia hires her and says, I want you to take me into the tombs of the emperor. She goes, it's a tough job, but I can do it. It's okay, we'll go. So the two of them go to the buried city of Shurima, with a party of a group of people, and they go into the tombs, traps everywhere, kills everyone that come with them. But they keep going deeper and deeper, and eventually Siva and Cassiopeia find the tomb of the emperors, and it's guarded by a giant stone serpent head. Right? It's guarded by a stone serpent head. And there's a lock on the door in the shape of a cross, and it's a shape that would perfectly fit Siva's boomerang. Now Cassiopeia sees this, knows that the lock was there, knows that Siva had the key to the lock. Cassiopeia stabs Siva in the back. Fuck! Takes the boomerang, turns it in the lock. Siva's bleeding out. Cassiopeia turns the key. The stone serpent head comes to life and bites down on Cassiopeia super mega bad hard, injects a whole bunch of venom into her, fucks her up real good. And then the door swings open and Renekton bursts out of there. And it's been centuries. This guy's changed. He's different. He looks the same, but this mother trucker is completely mental now. He's been down there in the darkness. He cannot see anything. He's just it's like being in sensory deprivation down there, except he's got this motherfucking dude with a sarcophagus body talking to him for centuries, telling him that his brother doomed him to this existence for the rest of his life. And he's these sweet little whispers. At first he stays strong. He's like, I don't care what you say, man. That's my brother. I did this, my choice. But he was down there for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. That shit, that takes a toll. That takes a toll. And that did take a toll. Renekton hates Nasus, wants to kill Nasus, and now he's working with Xerath. He's helping him now. He breaks out of that door and off he goes, running into the desert. He's pissed. He just wants to find Nasus and cut that dude's head off. That's it. No brotherly love here, man. And Xerath comes out and he's laughing and he's happy and he's like, ha ha ha, can finally put my plan into motion. And off he goes. But Siva, she lies there and she's bleeding out. And her blood is seeping into the cracks of this sacred, magical place. And what we don't realize is that Siva has the blood of the Emperor's line running through her veins. She is a long-lost ancestor of Azir's. And her blood seeps into these cracks and, follows these channels and pathways. And it switches something on. And something is coming back to life. And Azir's body rises again, forms itself again. He's back. He's alive. He's been resurrected. Azir. And he comes down and he's like, what the fuck's going on? And he's so confused. He doesn't remember what happened really. But he sees Siva and he sees that this is he's the ancestor of this woman. And he picks her up. And he thinks, I have to save her. And he carries her to this magical water deep in the ruins. And he places her in it. And the water heals her. And Siva's wounds, they close up. And she's completely healed. Like she was never stabbed to begin with. And then some more of Shurima starts to wake up. Light starts bouncing around, and then here's Azir. The light hits him. He has finally achieved ascension, and he has taken on the form of the Egyptian god Ra, the form of a bird. And then Shurima starts to reconstruct itself. All these pillars and buildings and things, they start standing on up. Shurima is back, baby.